What the heck is an air core? Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. As promised, we are getting back on project Z28. So, as I discussed before, I had a problem with my speedometer going out, and it ended up being this little circuit board that goes down here, ended up being just burned up. They told me to go ahead and check the air core. I'm like, what the heck is an air core? So I did a little bit of research. Well, I needed. I found out it's the stepper motor that moves the speedometer. It's a little motor. It uses like little pulses of electricity, and that's what gives you the sweeping movement of the gauges. So I asked them, how do I test it? They sent me a link to how to use a multimeter, and I'm like, I didn't need that. I wanted to know, like, how do I test it? There's a wire here that literally just has a few, about 4 wires coming off of this that comes down from the speedometer. It's like, I just wanted to know, like, which wires did I have to probe, and they told me to go ahead and test the air core itself. So looking here, actually, the speedometer has about like 3 bolts, and it looks like the whole thing can come out, so I'm going to go ahead and try to remove that and try to test that before I put the circuit board in. And I really don't want to fry that thing again. And then I have the gaskets for the valve cover. I have a new dipstick tube to try to put in there, and I also have the throttle cable coming later today. We're going to try to get all that in, get this car started. You guys remember I pulled the intake manifold off. I still need to set the timing, so I'm kind of hoping if we go, like, I believe like about maybe 12 degrees advance with this cam, maybe we'll start getting a good smooth idle. And then I need to check out that idle air control motor. So let's see what we can find here. Get the speedometer taken out. Alright, here we go. I'll probably help if I put the bit on there. Man, I tell you what, it is like hotter than heck out there. Really have not wanted to be out here in this heat. Sorry if the lighting's not that good. I kind of only got the garage door partially open because the sun is kind of beating in right now, and it is already hotter than heck outside. I honestly really don't even want to be working on this. I'd rather wait till fall, but I do want to get this car running. Ooh, there it is. Alright. Alright, so this actually looks like it's the odometer motor, because it's got a little gear right here that should spin all that. So this should be the air core. So now what we're going to do here is we have this on ohms. We're going to go ahead and test, and we should get resistance, which, okay, we got one there. Okay, so now, so what I'm doing is I'm going to try ground on each one of these. Okay, look at that. There we have it. So I get ground on the top one. I get a reading in the upper one. A reading in the bottom one. And a reading on that bottom one. Alright, so we got resistance on all 4. So the air core should be good according to the meter. Alright, check out my dipstick. Nice little flexible deal. It's supposed to design to withstand the heat of a header. And you got a tab here that's should be movable. The design is for headers like I got, short ones. Here's the gaskets Ken recommended. this car will be able to beat that speed. But yeah, there you go. If you're trying to fix yours too, a couple of screws, you can get this thing out. It's real nerve-wracking plugging it in, but I wanted to show you real close up the repair job that they did on the circuit board. You can kind of see in this general area right here how they had to fix some of those traces. And that's what they fixed, was that resistor there and this capacitor. Yeah, you can actually see there's a trace right here that runs up from that resistor. See that? So they did a lot of work to this little board. These things are like freaking precious, man. You cannot find these little circuit boards anywhere. It's about as elusive as the dang throttle cable. Alright, so let's go ahead and get all this in, and hopefully this is going to work. Because, like I said, I tested the air core and it seemed like it worked. Alright. Well, that kind of sucks. The GoPro I was wearing died. I didn't get to show you how this went in, but there's just 2 tracks right here that the circuit board pushes into, and then this little gray cable has to get pushed into here. If you're like me and you actually have that speedometer out, it'd be easier just to go ahead and plug that cable into your circuit board and then push everything in. Just a tip if you are actually having to do this somehow. But there you go, we have it back together. I still have a whole lot of stuff that needs to go back in, but I'm gonna wait until we start the car and make sure everything works before I go button everything back up, just in case there is a problem. So alright, let's go do the valve covers. Alright, so I lied a little bit. I decided to go ahead and pull the throttle cable out right now while it's cool and I'm not pouring a bunch of sweat on the inside of the car. And this is kind of interesting. This is the piece that goes inside the car by the gas pedal. And look at that. It came undone, it looks like from here, maybe from the inside it started. So not from this end where I put the fitting on. I mean, I could definitely see it. There's some unthreading here, but I'm not sure. But right down there, when I got underneath the car, that's what I was looking at. And that is why this thing will not freaking move. Yeah, every time I move it, it unthreads more. So, well, should have a brand new one, or used, out of like a 86. I think it said coming, so it should have the right fitting when it looks like that, not the barrel end. Alright, valve cover time. Before I take this off, I want to show you the problem that I'm having. You can see this is the lip of the valve cover, and here is the head. See, they line up. The valve cover should overhang the cylinder head. See, that's actually what my finger's touching, is the actual head right there. It's touching, so it's not pushing the gasket down very good. If you know, the gasket's up here in this lip, and then the valve cover itself is actually just sitting on here instead of pushing down. So that's my problem with these valve covers. That's why it's freaking leaking so damn bad, because these corners aren't even sealing. So hopefully you guys, you know, this will shed a little bit of light as to the problems I'm having. But this is what happens when you buy like the $50 valve covers versus the $300 valve covers. Alright, a little comparison here. This is the factory gasket. Here's the double thick that Ken recommended that I get. As you can see, there's a tremendous difference in the thickness there. So this is what we're going to use, and hopefully this should work, and this should help keep these valve covers from leaking. Please, man, I need a break. I don't want to drive this car. New valve cover gasket is in. You can actually see now the top of the valve cover does not touch the cylinder head. All we see is gasket. So hopefully this will stay put. It won't move when we start it. And no more oil leaks. Fingers crossed. really accelerating very well. There, as soon as I manipulated it, the idle went way out of control and it ran away. And I'm pouring oil out the other side. Still, I don't get what's going on. Woo! But it's running somewhat. Oh my God, it's smoky in here. See, that's the problem I have. It idles fine, and then as soon as you touch the throttle, it runs away and goes crazy. Alright, well, I gotta look at a few things. Can you see what that gasket's doing? See how it's bowed up? Man, come at it from a different angle. See, this is my problem I keep having. These gaskets. See, it doesn't want to sit flat. Look at this. It's like it's pushing on the studs. And every gasket I have has this problem. Now I'm a little bit worried over here. I don't feel this gasket right here anymore. It's sitting pretty good right here, but I don't feel it so much. Okay, I think I do feel a little bit of it. But I mean, the head's here, and the head's not that wide. And right there I can feel it. It goes here and it starts pushing up. I don't understand what the heck is the problem. That every gasket I put on here gets compressed. So what I'm thinking, I'm just going to take the gasket off and just go ahead and drill these holes maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe that'll help the problem. I mean, just even though I use studs, they're slightly wider, right? I mean, just a tiny bit. But it shouldn't make this big of an impact on this thing. It's freaking crazy. See, look at that. Oh, man. The good thing is I have plenty of room. Look at this. This is where the rockers like nicked it. Or the valve springs. So yeah, I'm gonna try drilling these holes a little bit. Actually, man, look at that. Another one ripped. So thankfully I bought 2 sets of these. So I'm gonna take and drill these holes out bigger, and then we're gonna try that. Forget, everybody keeps asking. I know it's a little hard to see, it's hard to get the light right, but down there, this is where it's drilled out for the center bolt valve covers. There's another one here. Okay, so this channel here, this is what's designed for. The factory valve cover should clamp over this. See, here is where they put the provisions for the perimeter covers. And see how this comes out. It's built into the track and it's flush. So my factory valve covers hit this, and that's what's preventing it. Now, something with the clearance of this, I don't know, is causing my other valve cover gaskets to bow up. So like I said, here we have it. I have it drilled. It's quite a bit larger. So hopefully I'm gonna put this on and hopefully it doesn't bow up anymore. Gonna try to fire her up right now, see how it goes. Oh, I gotta close the garage door so I can fumigate the house. Still running a little bit rich, and when I blow it that way, the air conditioner is like right there, and I think it's drawing a few, I don't know, but yeah, the whole house stunk with exhaust yesterday. We're gonna try to fire it up. I'm hoping drilling those holes took that stress off that gasket. Wow, this thing fired quick. Alright, well that really sucks. Obviously, whenever I pulled the valve cover off the driver's side, I probably should just put a new gasket on it because it wasn't leaking yesterday, and now it's puking oil everywhere. So I'm going to have to pull this valve cover back off and drill it out and put it on this side. But that's still not result. This car, you can hear it's popping something awful. So what I'm gonna end up doing is just order spark plugs. I really hope that's secure. I mean, it seems hard to believe that spark plugs be causing that much of a backfire or whatever the hell's going on. But it's definitely getting worse. Every time I start it, it's getting worse. Now it doesn't even really want to respond with any throttle whatsoever. I can put my foot all the way down and it's not going. So every time it gets worse. So it must just be burning up these plugs. So that'll be the next step. I'm just gonna get some spark plugs. We'll go ahead and replace that gasket, and then that'll be the next video. So I don't know how long it's gonna take for the plugs to get here. So I might have this video out for Wednesday, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off short here because I want to get this out on Wednesday. It's Tuesday afternoon, and I also have to run the cat to the vet. So I got some other things I got to get going on, and as you can see, it is freaking hot. Mother Nature's put the thermostat on full afterburner, and they opened the gates of hell, and it's like a friggin' 100 degrees out, so it's not really like something you want to be out here working too long in. So thank you, everyone. Sorry I don't have anything better, but this is life, man. This is the truth. This is what's going on. We're having a little malfunction here. Like I said, it might be the spark plug, so we'll go get some new ones and go from there. Alright, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please help me grow the channel. Like, shares, comments appreciated. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.